This settlement tour video, we're going to be taking a look around this Abernathy Farm Fort. There's some cool ideas here, hopefully give you some inspiration for your own builds. So stay with me and let's get into it. Hello everyone and a massive welcome, or welcome back, to Fallout Play Build Collect. I have another settlement tour video for you. Here we're at Abernathy Farm. This is one of the most interesting areas to build because we've got a huge area, absolutely colossal, maybe the largest in the game, but there's also quite a few problems with that. Now if you want to know what those are, stay tuned to the end of the video and I'll fill you in there. There's a lot of people new to the game, so you might not know. For those who know, I'll just get on with the tour for now. So make sure you stay tuned if you want to know about the issues with this one. Originally I built this one pre-DLC, eventually came back with the DLC pieces, obviously the concrete ones, and added a lot more to it. This one's branded for Minutemen, but of course you could brand it for whatever faction you play. So we head inside past the guard post, turret lights and some turrets guarding the entrance. Now obviously this is a fortified farm, but since we're near the transport depot, I thought this would be a good place to put some vehicles and to experiment using the vehicles as barricades. I hadn't done that before and I thought this would be the ideal place to do it. We have these scrap fences running all the way down the side, and I've used these lorry sections as basic barracks. We have our artillery piece, and of course where the cab would be for the front of the lorry we have this low section, so I've put some spike traps there. So we go inside the bus, you can see we have a guard post. Originally had two in there, you can very easily fit two guard posts in a bus. We have a siren and a bell. The power can be turned on and off. If I wanted to turn the lights off during the day I could do. Purely RP of course. A couple of defensive positions. There's my usual guards as you can see with their usual uniforms. We have I think 4 spotlight turrets, some flags, and there's some conventional lighting on the front of those as well. Use the ramp pieces to get up here, I think it was a little bit easier for the settlers. We come down and around to a small cooking area. The guards could all sit around, have a bit of food in the evenings. Same spike traps for the front of the cab, area of the truck there. And the same thing here, there's only one guard post in there now. But again, you can fit 2 in very easily. The second of the barrack trucks. Now the difficult thing when we're putting these fences along the side is obviously the drop off. The farm is much higher than the bottom of the field. So that's a big problem if you want to fence it. So I found those fence pieces were ideal. Use the barn pieces for the entrance. I didn't want a particularly fancy entrance in this one. I think the barn pieces work nicely for a farm. There's one of my provisioner robots. Seen them in my other videos. I have this walkway section goes along the top. A lot of this was fairly random. This was a playthrough build. We're on Xbox One. There are no mods. And this was something that grew organically over time. Most of it started off with the basic wooden pieces even before the DLCs were out. Of course, one of the problems is gathering the amount of resources needed for something like this. So as the playthrough went on, I gradually came back and built it piece by piece. You can see I've left almost the entire back area empty. Original idea was to do a huge Brahman farm. I ended up doing that at a different settlement. If you'd like to see that one, let me know in the comments. Power comes down from the roof. This guard post originally when we had wooden walls was one of the wooden stair guard posts. There's our provisioner, he heads off back to Red Rocket. And this is one of the areas you get attacked from. There's a spawn point over there in case you didn't know. So that's an ideal place to have a guard post. This raised boardwalk area is really an excuse to have the power funnel out to the lower fields. I think it looks quite nice anyway.
Damn, we showed them, didn't we?
As we head inside, now I've completed a mission. Completely forgot we'd done that. Put some shots in here. Since one of the settlers is actually a store giver anyway, it makes sense to turn this into a store and a bar area. The settlers tend to gather here at night, so it makes sense to have it as a bar. Put some food there for them. You often see them going and cooking. And the little fruit machine, they love playing the fruit machine. Earns you a few extra caps. Fits a bar of course, but you have to put up with the settler dialogue, which gets very annoying over time. Of course, without mods, there's very little we can do inside this building. So much of it just can't be scrapped. We're sort of stuck with it, so make the best of it we can. So let's head upstairs. I originally intended to build up the inside of the tower, but sadly we're limited to just one floor on the inside. More about that in the tip section later. So I ended up just settling with putting all the power up here. Something to note is that when you get attacked, the attackers, whoever they are, tend to head for wherever the power is. So if you put it up on top like this, get it out of the way, it can help you out a lot when you're getting attacked.
It's the best.
I fly down here. Nothing to do around the side. This is ugly and it's scrappy, but this is a military outpost at the end of the day. It's quite out the way as well, Abernathy, isn't it? So I don't think the settlers could expect too much here. You think this would probably be something of a quiet place. Didn't want to have too much water here. I thought that I like to keep the water in the places where it actually is in the native area, like Egret's Tors Marina or Taffin Boathouse, those sort of places. Farm back here nicely walled off. Extended the wall. As the wall came along, I wasn't really sure how to finish it off, and I've ended up making these turret areas, these curved turrets. Really like the way they've all come out. They were a real pain to do though. Very, very tricky because of the different height levels from the left one to the right one. The one on this side was much harder to do. Very difficult to get the stairs in. Look out over it there. I think it looks quite nice. It's great that the settlers can actually get up there as well. I think it's amazing Bethesda managed to make the settlers' path in logic so good that you can build these things and they get up on them fine. Got some shotgun turrets defending the entrance. They make sense to me. I like to put them near entrances. Of course, we had the guard dog down there as well. And the second section of the farm. You could obviously put tons of extra food in here if you really wanted to. As we head back out. I thought this is a defensive structure that some of you might like to see. I think you could use this in other settlements. I'm sure there's lots of other settlements where this would fit. I like to theme them, so I thought it was ideal to put it here, next to where you've got the transport depot, just off to the right there. So you've got a main road as well, so it makes sense that they'd be able to pull the buses up into the field here. Thanks to everybody who's been sending me messages. A lot of you guys have been explaining that you really enjoy the roleplay elements of a lot of the builds I've been doing. It's nice to know a lot of you guys do the same sort of things. I think it makes a lot of sense to try and put some kind of logic into the builds, theme them out for the local areas. Just makes a lot of sense to me, gives me a lot more enjoyment in the game. I'm really glad that a lot of you feel the same way. Some of you guys have asked to see more of the builds, particularly from the outsides. And you've also asked to see the settlements at night. So I've just gone round and I've selected a little bit of footage showing the settlements from the outside and at night, just for those people who've asked for that. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'll just leave that playing in the background and we'll get on with the tips and tricks and problems with this one. So the first thing is, like I said about the height, this is one of the highest places. If you want to, you can build right up to the top of the tower. You can actually build just over the height of the electrical pylon. So that's an absolutely massive height, one of the biggest in the game, clearly. But one of the real issues, like I said, is you can't build actually on or in the tower. There's only one floor there. Also, the other problem is the massive drop-off. As you can see as I walk around here, it's so much lower at the front than it is at the end. Plus, we have a spawn point in the middle of the main field, and of course the main building vastly can't be scrapped. Obviously, there's no local water source here, so that can be very limiting. And this is one of the very rare places where you can get attacked from pretty much all sides. So it's far from ideal from a defensive standpoint also. So lots of problems with this one, but I think it's a great place to build nonetheless. If you're still watching, huge thank you for staying with me. Please leave a like and a subscribe, helps the channel out immensely. And don't forget to leave me a comment. I really want to know what you did with this settlement. What do you plan to do with the settlement? Does this give you some tips and some ideas? I'd love to hear from you, so please leave me a comment as well. Just want to say a massive thank you to everybody for watching. I hope to see you again in another video very soon. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so we can let you know when new videos go live. Thanks again for watching.